Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Playdates and Travels, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is a place where I do a lot of Disney content, so it's kind of a safe place for that, and some travel content, some baby related content occasionally. So that's kind of what I do in a nutshell. And today I wanted to show my Halloween pin board. So I went to a trading event I think early October or late September, I forget now at this point, I just got back from vacation. But I went to a trading event, and it was in Anaheim, not too far from Disneyland, and they had a bunch of jumbo pins. It was kind of intimidating, honestly, but one of the best things that I got from there was this pinfolio case, and it's got this clear plastic cover on front, and then on the inside there are two compartments where you can store pins. So I am out of pin board space pretty much for my regular pins, so I decided to just use the interior of this, and I'm going to show you in a second, as my Halloween pin display. So I'm going to show you guys what kind of Halloween pins I have collected in the Disney atmosphere. There's only 2 non-Disney pins included within my pinfolio. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the ones on the very top, and on the left and right side of this side of my pin board, there is Chip and Dale. So you can see right here, this is Chip, and over here is Dale, and the reason I know how to tell them apart is from another YouTuber who told me this once before. And Chip basically has like a chocolate chip nose. I will never forget that. That is such a great way to remember that, which one to distinguish from them. And then Dale has the red nose. So there's Chip and Dale. You can see they're both like in pumpkin costumes, so cute, and little pumpkin hats. As soon as I saw this at Box Lunch, I knew that I had to have that one. This one right here next to Chip is an Ursula Villains pin, and this is a pretty cool pin because this is from Hong Kong. I would not have been able to get this had I not seen this posted on Instagram. And what's cool is it's got like this corkscrew design all along the edges, just like corkscrews and different like swirly things in the pattern. You have like the hidden Mickey in the very top with the red jewels, and she just looks kind of like she's sketched on, and I love Ursula. She's my favorite villain. I saw this pin and I knew that I wanted her, and what was great is that the person that I bought this from, her name is Pin Trade Tracy on Instagram, she actually allowed me to purchase just one single pin by itself. It was part of a 4-pin set, but she was selling them individually, so I did buy this by itself, which is great because I didn't really need the other ones, and I knew I wanted this Ursula for my collection. And then right next to Ursula, I have this poison apple, green apple pin, and it's kind of like the green apple Stein mugs that they have in the parks this year for the Halloween parties. And I just thought this was the cutest pin ever. This is part of the reason why I wanted to buy this. Is from a Disney store Snow White 3-piece pin set. So it's sold online still, I believe, and this is also part of it. These are the other 2 pins that came with this set, and this is a big reason I wanted this pin, but I really wanted this one. And this one is the mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Not you, evil queen. And I just thought this is a really nice pin. I just love how detailed and vivid it is, and the bright blue color. It just looks very fun. And then of course it had the heart with the dagger drawn through it as well. So those 3 pins were part of a Disney store set that is currently being sold, and I purchased that earlier this year. Right next to that, I will just go, since I mentioned this before, this is the evil queen, and she's holding up a poison apple, and she looks so great. I love the fact that her bust is drawn on there as well. This is actually another Box Lunch pin. So Box Lunch came out with these Disney Villains pins around early October, maybe end of September, and I snagged it. I'm so glad I did that because I love, I have the receipt in the background, but I love this pin so much. I love her face. I love that she's holding the poison apple. This is before she becomes the hag. And I just thought this was a really fun pin to have, and I'm really glad that I added it to my Halloween collection. And then over here, I have one of the Haunted Mansion cameo pins. And this is so from in the 2-pin box set in the parks. And if you get really close to this and you put an UV light over this, there's actually ink etched onto this design. I do not have a UV light, but if you know me, if you watched my channel before, you know that I like pins that have some kind of like element to it, different details. So the fact this has an invisible ink component I thought was really cool. I actually have no idea who this is. I don't know if he's in the ride itself or just inspired by the Haunted Mansion ride, but I do like that it has a skull at the very top, and it's kind of a spooky pin. You can see his eyes are kind of like looking right through you. He's very ghost-like. So because of that, I'm glad I did pull that from my Halloween Haunted Mansion pin set. And then going down one extra row, I have some Nightmare Before Christmas pins. So this is Zero, and he has a pumpkin on his nose. Really cute pin. This was part of a 4-piece pin set. It's currently being sold at the Character Warehouse, because I just saw it when I was there this past week, but then they also had it at the Disney outlets a while back. My location is all sold out of them at this point, but I did purchase that as a set. So this came with it. This was this Jack Skellington. You can see the different many faces of Jack Skellington all around him. This is a starter pin set, so it came with this one, Zero, Sally, and Sally has like a thing of yarn next to her because she's going to put some stitches together to put herself back together. And then of course this is the last pin in that set, and this is Oogie Boogie. And I like that Oogie Boogie has like a crate with a spider in there looking like, oh no, don't eat me. So this is a very detailed pin. I think he was part of the reason that I really wanted to get that pin set. But I also like the many faces of Jack Skellington. It reminds me of that Jack Skellington mug that came out in the Disney parks a while back. And then you have Zero, of course, and Sally. So those are my Jack Skellington 4-piece pin set. These are the only 2 pins that are part of my Halloween board that are not Disney. These are actually Harry Potter related. And you can see you have like the snake with the, I believe it's a skull on top. It's kind of like a Slytherin-esque inspired pin. This came from a series of boxes that they had, Harry Potter themed mystery box, sold only at Hot Topic. It is not the best quality. These Hot Topic pins are not as nicely crafted as, say, the Disney Store pins or even the Spock's Lunch pin right here. You can see this looks a lot better quality than this one, but I do still like it. So I like the element that it's scary, and I like the Harry Potter-esque feel of this, so that's why I have it as part of my collection. And then this, of course, is a Horcrux symbol, and you can see you have the triangle, the circle, and the dagger in between. So this is another great element from Harry Potter, and I just like this pin a lot. Really glad that I pulled that. And again, that was another one of those Hot Topic mystery pins, so I put it onto my Halloween pin board. Right below that, I have 2 pins, and these are sort of pumpkin ear hat designs from the Jack Skellington universe, and these are also sold in the Disney parks. And you can see this one says Jack Skellington in a pumpkin, and it has like this swirly design like when he goes up the hill later on in the movie, and then there's Jack himself. And then this one has Zero, and you have Zero's little doghouse right there, and then this ear is really cool because it's made of bones. So I do really like these pins. However, I don't need to keep onto them forever, so if anyone is collecting these and wants to trade, let me know, because these are going to be part of my traders, but because it's perfect for Halloween, I did include it for my Halloween pin board. Now that I have these other Jack Skellington pins, I just don't see a need to have these, although I really do like the design. So I'm ambivalent about that. I'm in between, but I think I do want to add that to my traders. Okay, so going right below that, I have another Haunted Mansion cameo pin, and this came with that one in the same box. And you can see it's a woman and a man, and they're also just looking very ghost-like, and this again has that hidden UV light element. If you put it over the pin, you will see some invisible ink through the pin. So I don't know what it says yet. I have to get a UV light, but still pretty cool. Then moving on, right next to Sally over here, we have my first ever cutie pin, and this is a limited edition from the Disney Studio Store in Hollywood, in California, and they came out with this not too long ago. It was a surprise release, and I ran over there. I'm like not even kidding. I got in my car so quickly, ran over to the line because I knew that this would sell out. This is only a limited edition size of 300, and it of course is my favorite, one of my favorite villains, Madame Mim from The Sword and the Stone. I collect her. I have a bunch of different Madame Mim pins at this point, so I knew I really wanted her, and I love how cute she is. I mean, it is a cutie pin, and you can see here she's just like cackling, like oh, so happy with herself. She's about to get Merlin and, you know, try to kill him or something. But at any rate, I love that it has her little one tooth. It's a really cute design of Madame Mim, and I love her purple hair. What is it with me and the villains with the purple hair? But yeah, I love this so much. And what's cool about this pin is that on the back, since it is a Disney Studio Store Hollywood pin, it has the ice cream symbol all along the back. And then you can see the FAC number as well. So this is how you know it's an authentic pin from Disney Studio Store, Hollywood. They have ice cream cones as opposed to Mickey's on the back. But I love her. Right, so moving down the bottom of this pin board, or pin case, I have another Sally. And here she's holding up a dead tree with ornaments on it, trying to decorate for Christmas. And I love her dress in this. I love her hair. I love the design of this pin in general. I just don't like that it's so tiny. Look at it in comparison to these other pins. It just is a really small pin. I ordered this one online, so I hadn't known what the size was going to be before I got it, but I do like her. I just wish they had made this pin a little bit bigger. And this was another pin that was sold this year at Box Lunch. Alright, so then my last pin on this board, is one of my most recent ones. I had one of those 5-piece or 5-pin sets that had this circular design, and with it I got Prince Eric, I got Cruella de Vil, some other different characters, but I really did like the fact that this is orange and black for Halloween. You have Jack Skellington looking very, very suave and debonair, so it just adds to my other Nightmare Before Christmas pins all on this section. So that again is this particular board, or pin case side, with my Halloween pins, and that's a close-up of that once again. And now I'm going to show you my other side. And this has some of my bigger pins that I recently procured. So let me show you that. I am filming this in my car, by the way, so I've just moved locations. It's just easier since I had to take my son for a drive to help him get to sleep. This is one of my favorite new pins. This is a Box Lunch pin that came out this year as well. You have Mickey as a vampire, you have Goofy dressed as Dracula a little bit, and then you have little Donald dressed as a devil with the devil horns, and you have a pumpkin here, there's bats on here. And what's cool is that this Mickey does move a little bit. It's not the best movable design, but he does kind of swing like that. I'm wondering if my pin is just defective and he's supposed to go up and down a little bit easier. But he is a sliding pin. You can see that. It's very, there we go. It moves kind of stiffly, but he flies up and down, this pin. So I do like that element a lot, and I do like this pin. And then right next to her, right next to them, I have Madame Mim. And this is one of my first pins that I ever got when I first started my collection back in February. And it's just a classic Madame Mim pose with a broom. This is currently being sold at Disney Parks. However, I purchased this from Shop Disney when they were having a sale, and I believe this pin was $3 or $4 at the time, so I got a killer deal on her. Love that. This is another pin that was just like the Jack Skellington one from the previous page, just like that one. This came in that set. This is Cruella de Vil, and she has the Dalmatian spots circulating around her, so I just really like how she just looks so, her signature pose looks so sassy right there. And then I have what I'm going to call my Jafar collection. I have a lot of Jafar pins for Halloween. I just really, really liked collecting him this season. It seemed like he was very popular. This is another pin that came out as part of the Box Lunch Disney Villain set, and this is Jafar, and he has his staff right there, and he just looks very nice. This is one of the nicer pins they came out with this year, so I did purchase this one. And it goes along with this limited edition pin that was released this Halloween. I got this from Disneyland right when it was released, and then I just went to Disney World and they had a ton of them, so I guess I could have saved myself that trip. But I did like getting this pin, and it says Haunting Halloween 2018. One of my few pins that's dated, and I liked it because I just like Jafar as a pumpkin. You can see the pumpkin head coming off of him, and then you have Iago right next to him, the two villainous characters from Aladdin. So it just makes a lot of sense to have this as a pin, and it is a sort of a 3D effect because he is pinned on top of him, pin on pin type of design. So very nice. You can see the stalk from the pumpkin in the background as well. I do like this a lot. I don't remember the size on this pin, so let me just quickly check. This was an LE size of 3000, so kind of a big LE size, not like my 300 Cuties pin with Madame Mim, but very nice still. And then I have these two pins that came out, and this came out like a week after this one did, and this is the Trick or Treat Halloween collection that came out this year, and you can see when you open it up they each have a different design. So let me start from, I'm getting ahead of myself. In here you have sort of like a cave. There is Flotsam or Jetsam, I'm not really sure which one that is, but I don't know what this is. If you guys know, please tell me in the comments. I have been looking at this and trying to figure it out. It looks like a mouth. of some kind, and then there's like a pearl that's within this mouth. But what is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be like the boat at the end? I have no idea what this is. But you've got like some under the sea elements that looking very villainous, kind of, not really. And then on this one you have Aladdin, and Iago's flying away, and Aladdin is holding up the lamp. And you have, of course, the Sultan's Palace. So this is pretty easy to determine what it is. So at first glance, you don't know what this is, if it's scary. But then you open it up, and it says 2018 Trick or Treat. And you've got the evil Jafar as Genie inside. And I love Jafar as Genie, so that's why I did get this one, because I have classic Jafar right there. I have Jafar as a pumpkin. And then here I have Jafar as Genie. So I did really like this pin. As soon as I saw this, I said, yes, I want that. And when I open this Trick or Treat, it also says 2018 Trick or Treat, except this one has sort of the seahorse in the design, which is kind of cool. And you have Ursula. I cannot not get this pin because Ursula is my favorite villain. I just love that all her tentacles are around her face. You have the sea element from the water right next to her. And, of course, she is holding Ariel's voice. All I want from you is your voice. No more talking, singing, zip. That's my impression of that. And let me just quickly tell you what the size of this was, because I don't remember. First time I've taken it off the card. But this says pin 3 of 4, limited edition of 4,000. So I'm assuming that all of these were 4,000 size. Okay, so moving below that, I have another pin with Ursula. And this is the pin that came with the box lunch Disney villain set this year. She has her hands up and she's just like laughing and looking very happy and proud of herself, and I just love this classic pose, so of course I wanted to get her, and I thought she'd be great for my Halloween pin collection, and just in general. She's going to be in my pin board forever though. And then I have this one. So these two are part of the Tsum Tsum collection, one of the boxes I opened months and months and months ago, and these pins were huge. I was really surprised by how big they were for mystery pins. But here you have Cruella de Vil, and down here you have Jafar. So Jafar is Genie, right under the other Jafar is Genie, and then you have Cruella to go along with my other Cruella. And I think I am going to trade her. So if anyone wants this one, this is also up for trade. Some of these are for trade, so just let me know if there are any of these pins that you do want to have and add to your collection. But I just thought for now this would be great for my Halloween collection to show all together all my Halloween themed or, you know, scary, spooky pins in one case. And then the bottom is perhaps one of my most vivid parts of this collection, and this is my newest pin. I just snagged Madame Mim in Disney World. She was on a trading board, I believe, outside of the Frozen Ever After ride or somewhere in Epcot, and I remember I saw her and I literally yelled at my husband to come join me because he had my trading case, and I was like, I need to trade for her. So I'm so happy I have her. I've been looking for her for a while. I'm glad I didn't buy her online, because I originally was thinking of getting her from eBay for about $5 or something like that, but now I'm glad that I didn't pay because I got it for free. I just traded one of my other pins I didn't care as much about, and I love her so much. Next to Madame Mim, we have Hades, and he looks so cool with the fire, the blue fire behind his face. Look at his chin, it's so long. I love this. They've been coming out with a lot of Hercules merch this year, and since I do have a Hercules set of pins on its way, I am going to keep him. I really liked him. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep him or not because I don't collect Hades, but now that I have other Hercules-related pins, I am going to keep him. I love this so much. And then you have Maleficent as the dragon. So this is another pin that came in the same collection. So I had these two, and I believe her, Eric, and the other one. So Eric does not fit the evil theme that the other ones did. So I did really like this pin. And this was part of the evil versus good pin selection, by the way. I don't think I ever said that before, but this was the evil versus good 5-piece mystery packs, and love Maleficent as the dragon. Goes along with my Madame Mim. So I will probably put this one on my other board because I do have Madame Mim as a dragon, but I don't want to put too many of my Madame Mim pins in here. You got the idea with the 3 that I have shown already. And finally, I have the Yeti. So this was part of the attractions box, mystery box. I got the one with the Cheshire Cat, but I also got this one. And this is kind of like, you know, from the Expedition Everest ride, or this could also be from the Matterhorn ride in Disneyland. Both those parks have a Yeti character. And I just like that his hands are so big. He's trying to grab something. This is not my favorite pin, though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie, but I do like it as part of the overall selection. So this again was this side of my Halloween pin collection, and it's cool to have some unique pins, perfect for the holiday. And this was more my Jack Skellington and extra Snow White collection. So love it, love it, love it. These are my pins for Halloween, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that too. Okay, so that was everything that I have for Halloween. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my Halloween pins and my Halloween buttons, and also my Halloween display behind me. I will insert that footage of a close-up of it again for your sake, but hope you're all having a wonderful Halloween holiday. If you're watching this past Halloween, if you're watching this just before Halloween, then I hope that you are getting geared up for the holiday and having a wonderful week ahead of you. Please, I hope that you guys will subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to be in the know of my latest videos. I do a lot of Disney content, and I have some vlogs coming up from my recent trip, both to Walt Disney World and Disneyland, so stay tuned for that. Alright, take care. Bye!